Welcome to another episode of CarpFishing.Tips. Today we were at 50 Rand Dam. We're just busy pulling out our rod holder made from PVC pipe. We love it, keeps everything organized. So we start off by setting up our rods, tying on the terminal tackle and sorting out our hair rigs. We were deciding what hook baits to use, and we decided to go with the Old Faithful blow train and tutti frutti. That's not it. That's the one. They've become our confidence baits. Time we started was 2:35, and we're getting going with our presser bomb. And our hook bait is one blow train, one tutti frutti, and then another tutti frutti. This presser bomb is really awesome. Just need to remove the excess, give it a bit of a pinch so that it's on there good and solid. Put the hook bait on the top where the line goes back to the main line. And then we decided to put our other confidence baits, our confidence bowl dips, which is FX and Devil's Fork. FX is caramel, Devil's Fork is garlic. Seems to work quite well with blow train and tutti frutti. And we cast it out pretty much straight ahead. We also tried something new here where we made 2 additional ground bait balls and threw them in nearby to see if it would attract a couple more fish. And of course the all important bite alarm. These are the ones we got for 75 Rand from our on our most recent tackle shop trip, where we bought 800 Rand worth of tackle. You can go and check that video. There's a link in the description below. Just making sure that there's a little bit of drag on the reel and that the line's as tight as we can get it without pulling the rig towards us. And there we are, ready to go. The other ground bait we're using is the normal ground bait. The ground bait on the previous rod is something called Quadro from a company called Frenzy Feed Baits. Quadro bomb. That one has hemp seed and peanut and that kind of thing. This is just your normal mealy bomb pup koi that you buy from pretty much any shop. I think that this one's egg yellow. It's a bit more yellow than we're used to. And on this we've put one of our pop-ups. This is a microwave pop-up oilie that we made in a previous video. You can also check that out in the description below. We'll put a link to that video. We made a ton of pop-up oilies, and they actually stay buoyant for quite long. On this mealy bomb we decided to put some strawberry, because the boilie is the strawberry flavor one, and some Gumtree eucalyptus bowl dip. We're sticking with our one sweet, one strong smell mixture. That's been working pretty well for us. We cast this one out also quite near the first rod. As we find, casting the rods near each other normally leads to a better result with the fish. And again, this time we made 2 more ground bait balls. We put on some flavor, tossed it out nearby, hoping to create a bit of a feeding patch near our ground bait. And then this is our carp bait alarm, the more professional one. We actually really love this. It's an awesome alarm. It does build a little confidence, because no matter what happens to the line, you're pretty much notified of anything that goes on, whether the line goes slack or whether the line gets pulled out. There, you heard it. And this is our third rod, where we're actually just testing the pop-up baits. We've got one that we made in the oven, one in the microwave, with almond and banjo bowl dips. And in case you guys thought we were pro fishermen, which clearly we're not, but just in case you thought maybe we're pro fishermen acting, here's an example of what happens to us on our fishing trips, at least once a fishing trip. So I forgot to open the bail arm when I cast out, and I had backwind on, so the line got a bit messed up, but we managed to retrieve it. Just some of the bowl dip came right off, but that's okay. We decided, since this is just a test, we just pull it back up and recast it where we originally wanted to cast it. Again, we set the hook bait on the top of the mini bomb. We do that mostly just to keep it from tangling up, but we found that it does pretty well. The hook baits seem to come off as soon as they hit the water anyway. I'm loving this background music. Such a great track. And that's our setup for the day. Throughout the day, we obviously refreshed our ground bait, and we cast them. We changed where we were casting them. Here's the pop-up boilies. This is after about an hour. As you can see, they're popping up just fine. Still pretty buoyant. They did get a bit soft. The microwave one was softer than the baked one. Whoops. And there we have a bite. We'd already reset the rods at this point. It only took us about 2 hours. This fish came on the line at 4:30. So from 2:30 when we actually started till 4:30, we caught our first fish. Had to leave the fish because I forgot the rod on the other side of the road. I forgot the net on the other side of the road. And of course, it's the middle rod that goes and not one of the side rods, left or right. This was a bit difficult because I had to put the fish on the one side of the net. I had to put the net in between the two rods and then try and get the fish. What I will say is, don't lift the fish like this, because you do have a chance of the rod bending. Fortunately, this one was only about 1 kilo. This little fish was only about a kilo and a half, so it didn't bend the net. Sorry, this little carp didn't bend the rod pole, so that was good. Pretty little fish. Gave a good fight as well. This is just us resetting the rod. You'll see where we cast this out to now. We cast a little bit to the left of where we originally cast, because we saw a lot of rises to the left. We're resetting the pop-up oilie. As you can see, the microwave pop-up oilie has disappeared off of our gear, and we're left with the baked pop-up oilie. Since it was already quite late, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and we need to leave at 6, we decided we'd pack up. So this is just the mad dash to try and get a few more casts in. And as you can see, the baked pop-up oilie was working perfectly. Cast it back out to the right of our rod setup. There you go, you can see where we cast to more or less. The action camera does make it look a bit further than what it was. But yeah, we threw in the last of our ground bait too, as we were packing up. And there we go, second fish of the day. Only took us 20 minutes from the last catch. This fish was a bit better. Fish were really aggressive on this day. They were quite energetic. And the rod's bending and the reel drag is a little bit is screaming a little bit. And again, it's the middle rod that's gone. So if the fish is a little bit bigger, you should really consider pulling the net up straight up. You'll see me do it now. Give me a second while I try not to set off all my alarms. Whoop, there you go. So rather lift the rod like that. You won't bend the rod pole that way. We actually weighed this one because it felt quite decent sized. This is 3.2 with a net. The net's about 600 grams. So we put it at about 2.6 kilos net weight. Nice, decent size, gave us a good fight. And there's a little bit of a blurry picture for you. I am going to try and get better pictures from now on. I'm actually going to pick up the fish. I normally try and put the fish back as fast as possible, hence why I don't actually take them out of the net. But I think I'm going to start doing that. There we go. We just got a bite on our telescopic rod. It's the first bite we've ever had on this telescopic rod. So we've just christened it. Mazel tov to our telescopic. Small little fish, but decent. It took a little bit longer to pull in because I wasn't sure of the strength of the line, because I got the reel with the line already spooled on. So I would imagine it to be like 5-6 kilo line. And I didn't want the fish to break off with the rig in its mouth. Wow. What a good little fighter. Gave us a nice run. I've obviously sped up the footage. Yeah, that's me almost falling over. Or the one hazard of fishing alone. If a fisherman falls over on a lake, does he make a sound? Oh, so now you'll hear probably one of the best sounds you can hear when you're putting a fish back into the water, I think. Is the other rod went off.
Then another fish.
And this is where panic sets in. This is our third carp. Very silvery carp that look like a bit of a hybrid, but very pretty nonetheless. Quickly trying to reel in the other line. We thought the fish should, and that we'd lost the fish. Turns out the fish was still on the line. Yeah, unfortunately I didn't get this on camera, but I'd actually caught this fish by this fish had rather the fish had caught itself on my line. It had terminal tackle stuck to it. It obviously broke off someone else's hook and ground bait holder and wrapped around my line. So it felt a lot bigger than what it was. So at least we managed to save the fish from dragging around a ground bait holder and a hook in its mouth for a couple of days. And guys, that's it. Fourth carp for the day. All done and dusted by 6:20, 6:15. Yeah, 6:15 we caught our last fish, packed up and left. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate the support. If you found this useful, please share it with a carpy friend. If you want to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button or click on one of the videos on screen now. Thanks so much, guys.